to remind me because Rossi's not here and she always usually reminds me. All right, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? Can you hear me? Okay. I have the great privilege of introducing our guest today. We are studying in the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. We are on the law of addition. And when Rossi and I were thinking about, we kind of try to go through the different laws to see who we feel would fit best with it. And hands down, Andrea was the one that we felt was the best for the law of addition. And there's many reasons why we chose her. She is the kindest, most honest, genuine, trustworthy, fun, thoughtful, visionary woman that we've ever encountered. And Rossi and I both have a really good friend. Her name is Jody, and Andrea reminds us so much of her. And Jody's just the most genuine, sincere person, and Andrea is so much like that. She has a gift for serving and for helping others, and that's another reason why we chose her to speak tonight. We're excited to glean wisdom from her. One of the things that I know of Andrea is that she adds value to others. She adds so much value to my life, and I know she doesn't even probably realize how much. And I know that she'll do the same for you. So I'm going to get this started. Andrea is an emerald, and we are going to get to see her walk the stage. I've got goosebumps when I talk about her walk the stage at convention, and we're so incredibly proud of you. And you are so worthy of doing that because of the leadership that you've shown your team. Your team has just exploded and blossomed, and you can see fruits of your labor in the other ambassadors that you have. And I'm just so excited to know you and to call you my friend. So, and you're awesome at pillow fights and all that. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce to you Andrea. You can take it away, and after this, we'll open it up for some questions.
Wow. Well, thank you for making me want to cry right now. I'm like tearing up. I think this business just makes me so emotional because there's so much emotion to it. But thank you for that introduction. Thank you for asking me to be on the call. I feel so honored. I look up to you and Rossi so much. Like, you two have just welcomed me. I feel like I'm your daughter. So they send me messages all the time, like just an amazing, amazing support. And I feel so blessed to be on this journey with all of you and to meet those of you that I haven't met yet at convention. So if you see me and I just look like a deer with my headlights, like, please come up to me, and because I'm going to be like, okay, who's who? Like, I don't want to not meet everybody, but please come up to me at convention if I don't come up to you first. So when they asked me to speak on the subject, law of addition, my first thought was addition, adding people to your team. That's where my first thought process went to. But it kind of is, addition, adding to your team, but in a different way. It's not adding numbers and people, it's adding value to your team. It's adding those relationships to your team. It's adding that connection to people. And I always say we're in the relationship marketing business, and people stay with us for two different reasons. Number one, if they have a relationship with us, and number two, if they understand the products, right? When I first joined, my first instinct was, I want to help people. I want them to try these products. But then the whole mindset of the numbers came into my head, and all I was focused on was getting the most PV, adding people and all these things. And that's when my business suffered, you guys, for about 6 months. Now, don't get me wrong, not for 6 months. That's all I was worried about. But I really had to dig deep and figure out, okay, why did I initially join? Because I love the products and I think everybody should take them. I needed to kind of get back to that. And if you guys don't know my journey from silver to gold, it took me 6 months. And in that time, I really had to dig deep within myself and be like, okay, where did I lose my enthusiasm? And it was because I was so focused on the management mode, I guess we call it, and just the numbers focus, where I really needed to be people focused. And that's my heart anyway. That's where that is my love language, is to help and to give to others. And And that's when I brought it back. And that's when my business really started to grow and continue to grow. But again, in September of last year is when my business suffered again. And why? Because I was doing this huge push for Emerald. I was trying to do Emerald by July. I didn't make it. So I was like, you know, we do those countdowns on our team page, right? Let's go team, let's get, you know, to our rank. And I wanted it for our team. I wanted them to see that it was possible. And we didn't hit it. And I felt like the worst leader because I set this huge goal and I didn't hit it. And then I set the goal again for September and we didn't hit it again. In September, my business just went down. I think I only recruited one person that month. You know why? Because I was numbers focused again. October, I just went back to the basics again of relationships. And that's what I am like a huge advocate. I know personal growth and relationships are my two biggest things. If you don't have both of those in your heart and you don't want to grow as a person, your team's not going to grow with you. And if they feel like you're just in management mode and you're just like, okay, who'd you sign? How many people are you messaging today to add to your business? You know, all the things. No, we need to bring it back to the basics and really, really identify and connect with people. How can we serve? How can we help others? And that's where my heart really is. I really genuinely want to help people. And so when people feel that through us, they want to either join us or kind of they learn from us and they want to kind of mirror that, you know. When you add value to people, you lift them up, you help them advance, you make them a part of something bigger than themselves. This is from the book. You assist them in becoming who they were made to be. I'm often messaging my team, encouraging them, because I know how it feels to not have that belief in yourself, but when you know somebody else has it in you, it kind of helps you to keep going, you know. I've messaged people, I know you can do this, girl. I know you've got this, but you've got to believe it too. But I'm constantly trying to be their cheerleader and encourage them and help them and train them and build a connection with them. The whole idea of adding value to other people depends on the idea that you have something of value to add. So why do you want to help your team grow? Why do you want to connect with your team? Why do you want to add to them? Because you want to see them succeed as much as you want to succeed, right? When you see your friends in your team, because they become your friends, right? Your downline, your sidelines, your uplines. When you see them rank, isn't that the best thing ever? I mean, when I do my silver announcements, the best. When gold was my, like the hardest rank besides emerald for me. And when I do gold announcements, I just like am so excited. It's better than when I rank. Honestly, like I'm not BSing right now. It's the fulfillment. And I think that's when you have that excitement for others is when your team will start to just flourish, you know. But if you're just like, oh, they ranked and I didn't, you know, that's when we're kind of like, we're not growing and we're not going to be successful. We have to add that value to our team and we have to want it for them in order for us to kind of grow as well. They always say like teamwork makes the dream work. There's no I in team type thing, but it's so true. This is a team effort. The other day when our team got on the top 20 leaderboard list, first of all, Addie King messaged me because we get the emails probably an hour before everybody else. And I was just like, is this a hoax? Am I being punked? Because I've been on that list before, but not for that title. And you know what? It took me about an hour just to kind of, okay, you know, like this is huge. Like the best of the best are on that list. And, you know, I attribute that all to my team. They rocked it. They killed the end of March. They were just pushing. You know, we had that amazing join special that Bridget offered, and they really worked so hard. And my name wouldn't be on there if that wasn't a team effort. And because I have a connection with my team, I really try to message them, to get on the phone with them, to meet with them in person, to do play dates, to do dinners. We do brunches. I'm I'm constantly trying to connect with them on a personal level, because it's not all Plexus. The other night, I went out with 3 of my team members, and we didn't even talk business. We were just connecting, and the night was over, and I'm like, oh, we didn't even talk about, what we came here to talk about. So now we're going to set up a phone call to talk about that. But I think when you have those friendships and those bonds, and you're just having relationships with people, is when you're really adding value to their life and to yours. I feel like my life is improved so much in the last almost 2 years because of these relationships. I always say Plexus is way more than all of us really thought, right? I mean, I just wanted a discount on my products, but I've got like a sorority of, men and women who I get to call my friends, and all across. I told my dad, oh yeah, I got the times mixed up. We're having a call tonight. My friend's in Montana. He's like, Montana? You have, people in Montana on Plexus? I'm like, Dad, we're going to be worldwide. So crazy. In like 5 years, we could be having these calls with people in other countries, right? Like, hey girl, how are you? So to add value to others, we truly value others. I think people can really feel if you're genuine or not, and really caring about them. And I always say, when I first joined, I thought this business was for everybody. I thought anybody can do this business. I want everybody to join my team. But now I'm kind of taking a step back in that, because I don't think everybody can do this business. And I mean this in the nicest way, but you've really got to care about other people, their health and their success, before your own agenda, And I've seen people that kind of weren't as successful in this business because that wasn't in their heart. And so you're not going to succeed if you don't have that. And I think people know if you have that. I know Darcy has that. There's no doubt in my mind that she loves people. She loves on others. She does these calls, and look at that opening. She has that quality, but not everybody does. So if you really love people, you want to help them succeed, you will be successful in this business, because that will just come naturally. You want to make yourself more valuable to others. What do you have to give to others? This is huge, because, we want to give part of ourselves to people when they're joining our team, or when they're buying our products. We want to be their coach. We want them to know that they can come to us and comfortable with us, and not like, okay, thanks for your order, see ya. We want them to know we are there. I'm constantly, even if they ignore me, trust me, we all get ignored. Even people on my team that joined last month, I messaged 6 of them. 3 haven't responded to me, but they know I'm there. They know I'm here to help them, and life gets busy. But we just want to exhibit that, because our leaders, when they join our team, they're going to see how you treated them, and it's a domino effect, and they're going to do that to their leaders and going forward. Because if not, attrition happens, right? If we don't have those connections, if we don't teach our level ones when they join, they're not going to teach their level ones when they join. And I had this, issue. Like I said, my first 6 months, I was trying to figure all that out. I have a ton of attrition in my first 6 months. I was adding people. I should have been gold my 3rd month, but I wasn't, because I wasn't connecting, and neither were my leaders that I was adding, because I wasn't presenting that to them that way. I was just like, okay, they ordered, and on to the next, So it's teaching by example, leading by example. And then I love this one. Know and relate to what others value. And so you guys have heard the different personality types, right? The reds, the greens, the blues, the yellow. It's really just understanding what makes people tick, or what drives them. Some people love the contest. Man, if I throw up and I think that's the majority of my team. So figuring out what your team culture loves, but I think my team loves contests. They love competition, and it's friendly, but it's like, hey girl, I got one, haha, you better step up your game. So it's a friendly thing, but it's figuring out what people, what benefits them and what drives them. I know if I just put a bunch of training videos up all day long, they would just zone out, but I've got to make it fun for them. So it's really knowing how to relate to people. Have you guys ever read The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman? So it's figuring out what people's love language is and what fills them. Some people like praises, and I like to be praised, not, all over social media, but I like that, good job, girl, you're doing awesome. I don't need it like a big Facebook post, but just a message from Rhonda or Bridget, it like makes my whole month, right? They always say raises over praises, praises over raises. So if you're getting recognized, like that drives me even more, because it's like when Addie messaged me, I was like, oh my gosh, she saw it, and she was the first person, and that just really, I'm like, okay, how can I get on this board again? How can our team, do this? So it's just knowing how to relate to what others value. So if people don't value, ranking, but they value, the trips, then that's what you need to, connect with them on, like pushing them towards leaders retreat, pushing them towards convention, getting them excited about those things. Because if you're just talking about, getting them to gold, they probably don't care. But if they want to go to Maui, that's going to push them. So it's just listening to what those people, what drives them, learning more about people. And this is not something that I just naturally knew. I had to kind of learn this as I went. We're not all just born network marketers. I wasn't. I took some time. Some people just have it and they just run with it. But even those that have it and run with it, they still have to learn other things, so we're all constantly learning, right? We're not just experts. My daughter went to school the other day and they were playing volleyball. And I'm like, how'd you do? She's like, oh, I didn't do well at all. I suck. And I said, how many times have you played volleyball? She's like, 2 times. And I said, okay, so when you were 1 and you're starting to walk and you stumbled, did you just quit, or do you keep going till now you're obviously walking and running? Okay, mom. But we're not all experts in the beginning. And so it's constantly growing. I know Cheryl, you guys had her on your call. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but she's huge about personal growth. And I am too. It's all about just growing as a person. When people message me and they're struggling in their business, I mention all the things, and then they're always missing one thing, and it could be that personal growth. And you could do everything right, but if you're not growing as a person, like you could do everything right on paper, I should say, you're doing all the steps, but if your heart's not in it and you're just like trying to reach a number type thing, again, you're probably won't be as successful as if your heart is really in it. I love this last one. It's do things that God values. Treat people with respect and value people. This is huge. Everybody should do this, right? You value people. You want to help them. You really want to listen to them. You don't want to push them and pressure them. For example, this girl messaged me about skincare. And is another company that I don't use. I use a certain company. But she messaged me, and you guys, she was so intense. Like just every probably 2 to 3 hours. Hey girl, just following up. And I'm like, at first I was like, oh, this girl's on it. She's a follow-up master. I'm like, maybe she could teach me some things. But then it got really just intense, and I felt like she was harassing me. And I'm like, she does not care about me. She doesn't care about my skin. She just cares about hitting her monthly quota, and she does not, value me. And that really turned me off. I was ready to block her, and I don't block anybody. I support all small businesses, and that's why I was talking with her. But I don't trust her, and that's huge. And if people don't trust us, they're not going to trust us with their help, right? People buy from us because of us. Not necessarily because of Plexus, but they stay with us because the products work and they're amazing. So just, some tips from myself. I don't know, did I talk enough? Did I not talk enough? A couple more tips that I did write down. This business is not what others can do for us, but what we can do for others. And that's kind of like a servant's heart, right? That's just doing for other people. And that kind of goes back to what I said, not everybody's meant for this business, because if you don't have that heart, that's totally okay. Like, not saying you don't have a heart, but that's just not your passion. And if you have that drive and you're feeling stuck in your business, don't ever give up, because if you have that, that's like 90% of it is just having that love for others and wanting to help people. I wake up every day, I'm like, who can I help today? The best message I've ever seen is Plexus gave me my girl back. And I'm like, because it's like their marriage was obviously struggling. They had 3 small kids, and this husband was so thankful for these products. And that to me was just like life-changing, right? You can't get that with anything else. I don't want to say any other companies, but I don't feel like you can get that with any other company. So that was just like tugged at my heart. That drives me, that keeps me going. And I mean, think about that. Think about testimonies you've heard that just keep you going in the times that you do feel, like you're struggling. I'm Emerald Ambassador. Do you think every day is rainbows and butterflies for me? No. Do you think it's like that for Bridget? No. It's so we do have discouraging days, but the good outweighs the bad for sure. And I love this business. I love helping people. And I love seeing my team flourish and grow. And one last thing I want to say is what we ask of our team to be doing is what we should be doing. So if we're saying, do this, do that, do this, but we're not doing it. In September, when I only recruited 1 person and I wasn't reaching out as much as I should be, but I'm over here saying, are you guys reaching out? Are you guys recruiting? Not that I say recruiting, but if I'm not doing it, I can feel that in my team. And right now my team is full of momentum for the last few months. And I think that's because I've been full of momentum, because it trickles down into them. And it's because I'm just like, we can do this. I'm trying to help Cheryl go, Emerald, and really, help others reach their goals. And the other goal for me will come. So that's all I kind of have on the law of addition. I hope I covered enough.
That was beautiful. And I think everybody can see why we chose Andrea for this. You have your heart. I've always said and heard, what's in your heart comes out your mouth and your actions. And truly, what's coming out of you is what's in your heart. And I'm so thankful for that. And I like the fact that you talked about how we're evolving. We weren't born network marketers. We are evolving. And one thing I like so much about this book and a lot of other personal growth books, they pertain to life in general. A lot of the things that I'm learning here, the next chapter, I read ahead, and the next chapter was like a frying pan across my face. And it was hard to it truly was. It was hard to swallow. But you know what? Even though I'm in my 50s, I can still grow and still develop and still evolve and finish well. I mean,
Yes.
I started well, but I can finish well. And I think that's just awesome. Does anybody else have questions? I've got a couple of questions, but I want to open it up to you guys and see. Gina? Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me? Okay. So I have a couple questions too, but I'll go with, as she was talking, I was just thinking. Okay, so how do you add value and encourage somebody when they're when what you're getting back is just negative? Oh, I can't do it, or how do you add value to that? Does that, I don't know, did that make sense?
No, it totally makes sense. You can only do so much for people. And this is another thing I've learned, and I'm still learning, because we want it so bad for people, right? We know they can do it. We know they have the skills. We know it, but something's blocking them, and that's not anything you personally can break down. They've got to see it for themselves. They've got to see that they can do this. And some people I talk to till I'm blue in the face, and they just don't have that belief in themselves. And that takes time. I've had a few people that have actually quit the business. And I've kind of reached out back to them, trying to revive the dead, we call it, the white lines. And it's like, you know what? That's just dragging me down. I mean, yes, don't give up on them, but don't put so much effort into them, because it's going to consume you. It does for me anyway. I just feel so discouraged, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong as a leader? But some people got to own up to their actions, their responsibilities. And if they don't want it, we could take a horse to water, right? But we can't make them drink. That's how I kind of feel about that. When people are negative and they do come to me and they ask for advice, I give a little tough love, but I'm super nice about it. I'm not mean at all, but I'm like, hey, would you want to buy from me? Go look at your Facebook page. I mean, I have someone I was speaking to, and I've actually had to delete comments on my team page. And I don't think that should ever have to happen. But if they're not happy, people aren't going to want to buy from them, right? They're not going to want to join their team. And you can't bring that happiness out of them. They've got to see it for themselves. So maybe some self-reflection, if you can give tough love in a nice way, be like, would you want to buy from you? Would you want to join you when you're at this state right now in your business? They may need some tough love. Ask them, can I give you some tough love? This is my year of being bold. 2017, when it started, it was like, just be bold with people, because people need to hear it, right? Or sometimes we all tiptoe around the situations and we don't just come out, and some people just need to hear it, and maybe they will accept it when they hear it from you. Or maybe they'll get mad, but it will be in their mind, and they're like, okay, maybe she's right. So that's just my opinion. You can't make somebody a positive person, but you can bring. You have a team page?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe, how we always say, if somebody writes a post and they're like complaining about one of their health issues, you kind of writing a post kind of talking to them, but not directly talking to them. Same on your team page, hopefully they don't watch this, but same on your team page. Talking about being positive. Does your Facebook page reflect who you want to attract? Because if they're attracting negative people, then there's more negative people on your team that you have to deal with, right? You don't have time for that. And that's when I was saying earlier, I'm being a little more selective on who I'm adding to my team now. I want people that have that heart, that have that drive, that want to do this business. Yes, I love wholesale customers, but I really want some business builders. I want some people that really want to do this with me, because I don't want to waste their time or my time. If they just want to take the products here and there and not be consistent, I'm going to keep you as a customer. I don't need those 5 points that bad. I'd rather have you as my customer, and just leave it that way. So that's my thought on that one.
That was good. I had one more question. Sorry.
Yeah.
I can kind of take over, so just mute me.
No.
Okay. So I was listening, and you had also mentioned something else. You said in the beginning that you were like learning, because obviously we're not all born that we're marketers. Mm-hmm. So you had said that when you were learning about being relational, did you go back and go back to your customers and your ambassadors and start from there, like ask them their whys, talk about their, not necessarily talking about their love languages, but getting to know them better so that you could be a good hearer and doer, I guess?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
You did.
Yeah, and I still do that. Like, I'm still trying to connect with my team. My level, I don't just focus on my level ones either, because some of my level ones are in it 100%. So I don't want to lose those levels 2s and 3s that they're adding to their team. And it may sound like a lot of work in the beginning, but I'm really trying to connect deep down. April and Sammy, I'm sure you guys have seen them on Facebook. They're my 4 and 5, I think. Yeah, they're my level 4 and 5. I don't even know, see? But I talk to them a few times a week. I run with my runners, and I'm constantly trying to connect, and I know now what their love languages are, what their colors are, and what drives them. And but it took me some time, and My first ambassador who I signed up, like we talk, and she's still with me, thankfully. And I actually messaged her tonight, and I was like, hey, not as a friend, but as your leader, can you please give me some constructive criticism on how I can be a better leader for the team? And she actually messaged me right when we were like getting started. And one of the things she said is, you've grown so much as a leader and you really care about your team. And I was like, oh, good. Because I mean, you never know, you know, like how well you're doing or how you're not doing. And you really want, it's all about just connecting with them. I know I said that word like 15 times. I'm so sorry, but it's really just connecting with your people and building relationships. These are people that you want to go to Maui with, right? You're going to be doing family vacations with them. You're going to be spending, I mean, you're in it, right, for the long haul. You want people that you want to be in the long haul with to do all these, I mean, we do what, 3 trips a year with Plexus? You want to go with people that you're friends with. You don't want to show up and be like, hey, how are you? Like, you know, I haven't seen you in 6 months. No, you want to have a relationship and a friendship with them, and just learning how you two can help one another grow. I hope that helped too. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Darcy, I liked what you said. You were saying, you know, I'm in my 50s, but I want to finish well. And I like that because when I turned like 30 something, I don't even know what age it was, I was like, wow, this is it. Like, this is what I'm going to be doing with my life. You know, I just felt like, I don't know, felt kind of discouraged, like this is over. You know, like I'm just going to be working at this job and that's it. No, like time or anything can change. It's all about what we think we can do. And that's just like an amazing mind. Our mindset controls so much. If you think you can do this, if you believe in yourself, like when I first joined, there's no way in the world I would ever said I will be diamond with Plexus. But now I say it and I'm confident. It may not happen next month, may not be 6 months from now or a year from now, but I know I will do it. So if you tell yourself something, and be nice to yourself. Tell yourself positive things. Write it down. Like maybe you guys should do that right now. Write down 3 things that you love about yourself, or 3 goals of yours that you know you will do. Because if you write it out and you see it, you will do it. And I used to, what was I thinking the other day? If somebody's already done it, that means it can be done. You know, it's not like, oh, just because that person can do it doesn't mean we can't, right? There's more than 100 diamonds in Plexus. That means that we can all do it too. You know, look at Oprah. I always say, like, first of all, Oprah still works. Everybody needs extra money, right? No matter what you do with it. I mean, look at Darcy and what she does with her money and the people that she's helping that come into her home and she helps. It's not all about just like putting money in the bank and having a Louis Vuitton. It's about helping people with that because, again, you have a servant's heart. But Oprah had her door shut so many times, right? But she persevered. She kept going. She knew what she could do, and she's still doing it. So, I mean, it's not that she's better than us. It's not that she had more means because she was really poor, right? But she had that belief and she had that drive. She's one of my favorite people because she's just grown so much as a person and is just, I just think she's an amazing woman, all she does for people. So finish well. I like that.
One of the things that you said back there, and this is just kind of a funny quote, but you were talking about happy people and people positive and just being careful who you surround yourself with. I remember hearing somebody say a quote, "Are you happy? Well, you should tell your face that."
Yeah.
It is. It's true. You know, what's in your heart comes out your actions in your mouth. And being a servant sometimes isn't a natural thing. Sometimes it has to be developed and, you know, nurtured and that kind of thing. But when you're talking about being a diamond or that anybody can be a diamond, you're absolutely right. Anybody can be there. And I struggled with, at my age thinking, oh man, can I do this before I mean, I don't want them to have to wheel me onto the stage, but so be it if they
Stop it.
But the thing is I know it can happen. I see Shannon, I see Samantha, I see Ricky, Gina, it can happen for any one of us. That we all have the same tools that Bridget has. We have the same tools that Rhonda has. We have awesome leadership and examples, people who live by example. They don't just tell us what to do, they live it. And so, that's a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about the future. And I know there's different things that are, reveals, and it's just always something with this company to look forward to and to be celebrating. And, I'm just excited about that. Does anybody else have any questions that they want to ask? I wanted to know, Andrea, what does your daily activity look like?
I'm really trying to work on business hours, you guys. So if you don't have them and you hear us talk about it, and you feel overwhelmed right now in your business, maybe you're working a little too much, definitely set business hours. I'm really, really working hard on this one because I could literally work Plexus all day just because I love it that much. And I'm being upfront and I'm speaking from experience. It will just overwhelm you if you don't do that. But I obviously post on social media, probably 4 to 5 times a day. And I know that may sound like a lot to some people, but I want to be in people's minds. Actually, a girl messaged me the other day or commented on my post the other day. It wasn't even a Plexus post, but I want to learn more about Plexus. The law of attraction is big on this one or something. I commented on Bridget's team page because I'm creating that picture or painting that picture of my life. It's not always Plexus, but people see my posts, they know I'm the crazy Plexus lady, right? And they know I'm open for business. I don't want anybody to ever go to anybody else that's on my friends list for Plexus. So when they're ready, they're going to come to my crazy Plexus website. But I have that DMO book. I don't know if you guys have this, but I like it. I really like, can you see it? It's the DMO Success Guide. Amy Paul got it. She posted it and I'm like, let me see what that's all about. So I ordered one and it's just making a list. And I don't know if you guys are all doing the list of 200 with Rhonda, but I love that. 6 or 7 people, that's nothing, right? I mean, I think it's like, oh, I'm done. Like maybe I need to do a few more, but I've been really trying to, I'm doing the 6 or 7 people a day. In addition, I'm reaching out to my team. I try to really talk to a couple team members a day. I mean, I have probably 300 level 1 and 2s, I want to say. So I really try to check in with them, connect with them. I don't want them to feel disconnected from me. When people join my team, I now send them a friend request. Well, I've always done that, but now I'm sending them messages. So I do that throughout the day. I friend request new people, and this isn't every single day, but I try to friend request about 50 to 100 people a week, just depending on the week. And if I can find new people that I have mutual friends with, I'm not friend requesting Plexus people. I'm friend requesting people that probably have not heard of Plexus yet and who could hopefully benefit from these products, which I think about 99% of the population can, right? So friend requesting people, reaching out to 6 to 7 people a day, following up with my team, watching a training video or listening to a training video that maybe Rhonda, Bridget, or Addie, anybody's posted, Celeste, Emily Roberts, I love her page. I do, I'm trying to think. Oh, I try to do a couple times a week, either going out and meeting one of my team members at like a park with their kids or going to lunch. going to dinners. At least once a week, I'm trying to be in person with someone from my team. In person is always better. Obviously, it's not always doable, but then second to best is being on the phone. I called a couple of my girls the other day, and one of them was like, it was so good just to talk to you. I was like, wasn't it? I love talking. Like, I'm a mom staying at home. You know, I'm talking to 2 and a 4-year-old most of the day. So I love talking to women anyway. And it's not always Plexus. Again, I'm just like, how are you guys doing? And, you know, Cheryl just sold their house. They're moving. We'll talk about that. It's not always business, business, business. It's just relationships with them and connecting with them. We should have done like a shot of pink drink every time I said connecting and relationships. Because I'm so sorry. We can rewatch it later at a convention and just take shots of pink drink.
Well, I wanted to add something, you know, when you're talking about friend requesting people, this is something that I heard maybe Amy Paul mention a couple of times, and that is the separate friends list on your Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You can create a different friends list. And
right.
I've heard that twice now. How do you do that? So I Googled it.
Mm-hmm.
And you go on your homepage and see where the friends lists are, and you can create a non-Plexus friends list and then add people to that. And so then you pop on that thing and you see all of your non-Plexus people, and you can just go through that and comment on those rather than wade through all of your, you know, I love my Plexus people too, but it's time consuming and it's distracting, and I get caught up in all of that kind of stuff. But if I can just go to that other separate friends list, that's very, very helpful.
Yeah, no, for sure. This might sound bad, but I've kind of unfollowed a lot of Plexus people just because it was clogging up my news feeds. I mean, I'm still friends with them, and, you know, randomly I'll go through and, you know, see who's liked my post or commented, and I'll go to their page and do the same thing. But it was just so overwhelming for me. And I'm one of those people that want to help everybody and comment like, but it was doing nothing for my business. And that's what I tell my team. Are you on Wastebook trying to help your sidelines and your uplines and your downlines by commenting and liking all day? That's not growing our business, right? But I mean, we all get in that trap. And I had to figure out a way to get out of that trap. And that's why I'm like, they're not on my team. They're not one of my sidelines. I'm going to unfollow them, and I hope they don't see this, but it was too much. And I knew that I needed to do something because it was just overtaking my day.
Well, and it's kind of like what you were talking about, setting hours for, because I'm like that too. I do teach dance, but it doesn't take up a lot of my time. I've got all day long, and I could be doing Plexus all day long too, because I love it. You guys are my family. You're my social outlet. I don't have a lot of friends, you know, out around this area, but you guys are my family and my friends. But if I'm constantly doing that, and my husband is neglected, or, you know, other things, I'm not doing anything well. If I'm too stretched, too thin, or whatever. So fine tuning and setting hours, working those hours, making those hours loaded and productive, and then moving on to other parts of your life. You know, I'm a rancher's wife, but I don't get outside very much to do the ranching kind of thing. I think I need to learn more of that, to be a helper to help me to my husband and that kind of thing. But I get so consumed and obsessed. I'm kind of a compulsive extremist type of a person, and, you know, I have to watch that. So that's a good word on that. But anybody else have a question for Miss Andrea?
I did. Hang on. My kid just came and attacked me. Yes, I had a question. I wanted to ask you, after doing the friending and, you know, building the relationships, because I have started doing that too. I don't want it to, you know, be fake. I want to genuinely talk to them about Plexus, because, oh my gosh, so many people, I'm like, oh, you have this ailment, that ailment. I have a want to fix people. I want to help them feel better. And whenever I see them struggling, I'm just like, oh, I know what could help you. But I don't want to jump the gun, you know, and just bam, Plexus, flood them. So my question is, how long do you wait till you mention it, talk to them? How do you bring it up, kind of thing?
Obviously, everybody's different. And it's similar to like if you were to meet these people at the park, right? You're going to build a connection. You're going to build a conversation with them. And different than the park, this could be on their post. You could find a common interest with them. They just went to, we have Big Bear. I don't know what state you're in. Big Bear next to us. And I saw a girl went to Big Bear. They stayed in a cabin. I started a conversation asking her like, hey girl, I saw your pictures. It looks so fun. Where did you guys stay? And we just started a rapport back and forth. And number one, when that happens, you're connecting. Number two, they start to see your Facebook posts more often. Number three, I add them to my list of kind of following up. So I intentionally go and comment and like on their stuff more often. And then I just kind of not wait. I don't want to just approach them right away because, again, in the beginning, I did that. And I think that's a huge turnoff. To just be like, oh, I'm sure you've seen my Plexus post, but it just varies person to person. You can kind of feel when the time is right, I think. If you feel like, but if she's complaining, you know, if somebody's like, oh, I slept horrible last night, send them a private message, you know, like, hey girl, I saw your post, you know, I totally was just thinking about you. When I see people with migraine posts, I'm just like, oh, you know, and I send them messages. I'll send them articles about migraines and blood sugar or migraines and gut health. I'll send them testimonies that I still have saved that aren't compliant anymore, but I can send them private messenger. You know, if people are pregnant or breastfeeding, and, you know, they're complaining, you know, about their milk supply, or they're complaining, you know, their pregnancy's horrible, I'll tag them in my pregnant and breastfeeding post that has like 90 comments from Plexus people. So it's just kind of, I don't want to just say wait for 6 months before you mention it, but it's kind of just waiting for that perfect time that they just like, they post something, they say something, boom, you know, maybe they just lost their job and you can message them and be like, I'm so sorry about your job. You know, I don't know if you've ever heard of Plexus or kind of seen my posts, but this opportunity is amazing. Boom, send them a diamond doc, you know. I like sending videos. I love that Slim video of explaining the benefits of Slim. I mean, cholesterol, blood pressure. So many people say like my labs don't come back normal. Boom, I'll send them that video. You know, so it's just kind of seeing, like if you guys were at the park and you're just talking and then she all of a sudden brings something up, that's when you're going to go in and, you know, hey, I don't know if you've ever, you know, heard of Plexus, but this, and this. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a good enough answer, but it's kind of just waiting for the right time. And they're going to see your stuff, girl. If you're communicating with them and you're going on there and talking with them, if they get a promotion at work, I send a Facebook voice message. If it's their birthday, I send a voice message. Anything exciting, I send voice messages for them. Hey girl, that's so exciting. Congratulations on your new promotion. You know, whatever. It's just connecting and building that relationship. There, I said it again.
Well, one thing, I think it was you that had said a while ago that you send voice messages for birthdays. That means so, I started doing that, and that means so much to people, especially ones that have never heard your voice, and they may not be, you know, really close friends or acquaintances.
Right.
For them to get a message like that is huge.
Yeah.
And Samantha, if you if that's what you feel in your heart, like, man, this could help, tell them. You know, that's the way I am. If I hear of somebody who might have a migraine headache or fibromyalgia, man, I'm going to tell them, you know, we are hope dealers. We've got something to offer them. And, you know, sometimes I will wait to build a relationship or whatever, but if I feel they need to hear now, I'm going to tell them. So you kind of got to gauge yourself, watch your, you know, consider your own heart. What's in your heart's going to come out your actions, and they'll know that. They'll pick up on that genuineness, that you genuinely have something that can help them, and you want to tell them. You don't want another day to go by without them not at least having the option. They won't even have the option to try anything if nobody tells them.
And most people are complaining. I feel so bad, but most people are complaining about something on social media, right? They're tired. They're at Starbucks for the second time that day. Oh, give me the coffee. Oh, give me the wine. I can't relax, you know. I mean, that's just the social media that we're on. So there's going to be tons of floodgates for you to just go through and talk with people.
Good stuff. All right. Does anybody else have any questions or something they'd like to say to Andrea?
I do. I want
See.
to add to that same thing that you were saying. I think sometimes it's just fill it out and wait. Can you hear me? I may need to take this off.
It's kind of breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me better?
You're kind of cutting in.
Well, you may not be able to hear me, and it may be my connection. I'm having some connection problems.
Now you sound good.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you type it on the side? Oh.
Okay. Well,
if you go down into the chat button, you can chat and type it.
For some reason.
You can type it out on the chat. Type it on the chat, Shannon.
Okay. I'll do that. That's okay, y'all. I just can't hear in here.
All right. Anybody else?
Well, I just want to say thank you for having me on tonight. I really needed this call. I really needed to read this chapter, and this pushed me to read the chapter. And I hope I explained some of it well enough for you guys, and you got something out of it. But it really helped me, believe it or not, more than maybe I even helped you. So it felt good just to talk it out and to just talk with all of you. I love this team. I love doing this business with all of you. And we have an amazing, amazing journey ahead of us. So, I think Shannon, do you have a system that you can share? Hold on, I'm reading it. For your contacts, like how do I keep track of everybody? I think Darcy asked me this the other day. I'm getting better at making lists. And is there I have this ever-growing massive notebook. Okay. I don't have a good system. I would be so embarrassed to even tell you, but I just go through my messenger and I just follow up that way. But now with my new list, I'm trying to keep track on that. But I could imagine how you're maybe doing it on Word. And then once you talk to those people, you can delete it, or put them on another list that says done. But I don't have a good system, so I'm not a good person to mirror on that one. It works for me somehow, but it's not very organized. And I'm a pretty organized person, but I don't know why. I just haven't gotten that down.
Well, we're all different. We all learn different. We all do things differently, and whatever works, for one person may not work for another.
Yeah.
List upon list upon lists. And I finally just did, single file of my list and then just check off or date it as I'm talking to them or as I message them or whatever. But
yeah, I have notes in my phone, obviously. I think because it's all done from my phone, it's hard to come in my office, get on the computer and do all my notes, which a very organized person would probably do, but I just don't do that yet.
Well, I think it's inspiring that you do it all from your phone. I'm just not that tech savvy. I just want to say, Andrea, watching you, I love you like you are a daughter. And
I love you too.
That people can see what we see in your heart, and to watch you continue to grow and blossom. It's like I'm doing it with you, and it's such a blessing.
You are doing it with me. You are growing too.
It's what you say about your team. You feel so excited when somebody goes, and is moving up. But I think of all the people that I know watching you achieve and continue to grow, because you are so genuinely authentic and sincere, and you're a pretty special girl. So I feel honored that you would take the time to come on our Zoom call and impart your heart to us. And your wisdom. So.
Well, I love you and I love your team. And yeah, I just love seeing everybody grow and blossom and promote and just keep going, you guys. If you're in a season where you're just struggling or you're feeling stuck, can I share something? 3 weeks ago, I felt really stuck. So it happens throughout your whole journey. But if I quit every time I felt stuck, I'd be back at work working a 9 to 5, hating my life. Oh, that's good that you like have notes and with their name and everything, Shannon. That's a really good. Some people do that. They just have like, you know, why they're messaging those people. So that's good. And obviously if it works for you, don't fix it. You know, it's working. Oh, no. Oh, you didn't mean to send that. Okay. Well, we learned your trick. Who,
I'm so thankful, and I'm thankful for all of you that were on here. You're all my daughters. So
and this really shows that your commitment to this business when you jump on these calls. It may not seem like much. You're just like, no, I want to be on the call, but that's a huge commitment to be on the calls. I mean, I have a huge team now, and we maybe have 20, 25 people on the calls. It just shows who's committed, who's all in when you take time out of your night to be on these calls to learn and grow yourself and your business. So I commend all of you for doing that. Who's going to convention? Raise your hand. Yay. Convention, raise your hand. Samantha, no? Oh.
I'm kind of excited because Rossi and her husband are going to be there. My daughter Ricky and her husband and my husband are going. So
how exciting.
It'll be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, thank you all for being here, and take your time on the next chapter because it's.
I need to read it now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch up with you guys because I really need this.
Well, and it may not affect all of you like it did me, but we'll talk about that next week because it was pretty hard for me to read. But anyways, that's next week. All right. Love you guys.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Love you.
See you soon. Love you. Bye.